here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
You look ready. Okay.
Oh, Vital.
Came from work. We're keeping it professional today.
Any of our viewers, welcome back. Welcome to Fantasy CTE. My name is Nick Masick. We've got Lonnie Cox and Vital the Juice. Looking good. Blurry backgrounds. I feel I left out because my background's not blurry, but I'm going to do that maybe next
I
time.
don't feel like cleaning my room for you guys.
That's fair. That's fair. I have a pretty nice blank background to begin with. Welcome back, guys. Post draft, we had our draft on, what was it, last night, right? Last night we did our draft for our league. Lonnie, are you feeling okay, man?
Yes, I am. I actually, it's my second round of COVID, but doing pretty well.
Okay.
Can't complain.
All right. Other than your draft, I guess that could explain. I mean,
Oh, stop. It's fever.
My team
Fever made him draft
gangster.
it.
What are you guys talking about?
I don't know. We're gonna talk about it. Before we get into our draft, by the way, anybody who's watching live, please feel free to write in comments, questions about your upcoming drafts, comments about your previous drafts. Feel free to roast us the way for looking a certain way, whatever it is you got to do. Thank you for watching live. Let's talk Lonnie's COVID draft. I don't know, man.
We should give report cards on
What are
everyone's
you
draft.
talking about?
No, this is what I want to do. Here's the thing. We were talking about this last week. Lonnie brought up an article about the Dolphins called "Why Your Team Sucks," and I love it so much. We loved it so much that we're gonna make that one of our segments for this season. Every week, Lonnie's gonna pick a team, an NFL team, and tell us why your team sucks. So you're gonna have to do a different team each week. I think that would be a good way to do it, but I think we should do a practice round of each other's fantasy teams. Right? So what do you guys say? Do you want to tell each other why your team sucks?
Let's do it.
I'll do Lonnie. Lonnie, you want to do Vital? Vital, you do me.
Gotcha.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, all right. Can I go first since I was already thinking about this? All right.
You have it queued up? Yeah.
Lonnie, why your team sucks. We'll talk about our draft in a minute. Your team sucks because you got Mike Gesicki as your starting tight end, and the Dolphins already said that he's going to be primarily a blocker this year. Like, that's one of the reasons your team sucks. Another reason your team sucks is you drafted Deshaun Watson. That's just morally reprehensible, I think. And let's see what other reason. You're extremely weak at running back. Your number 2 running back is Josh Jacobs, who may not even be the starter throughout the year. Clyde Edwards, you got a couple guys from what I was talking about as murky backfields, which we're going to talk more about those. A couple of your guys came from those murky backfields. And the main reason your team sucks is you drafted the Cowboys defense, and their week 1 matchup is Tampa Bay. So that's why your team sucks.
If you'll allow me to retort.
Yeah. Okay. That's the
Okay,
fun
first
of
of all, the Cowboys were one of the highest scoring fantasy defenses. This isn't about what I'm looking for is sacks, interceptions, and touchdowns. Punt returns. They've got, what's his name? Turbin, the new guy, this new kid, if he makes the roster. I'm not concerned about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 1. All right. What I'm concerned about is Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, and the rest of this very high scoring fantasy defense.
Okay.
Number 2, I'm not extremely weak at running back. I've got Austin Eckler, Josh Jacobs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Darrell Henderson, and that's it. But
that's not strong.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the starting running back of one of the most potent offenses in football. He's going to get me some good points. Josh Jacobs is going to be reliable. Who else is starting on that team? Let's see.
They got
Brandon Bolden and Zamir White. Those guys are going to take over for Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
Nah.
All right.
No.
And okay, so those are good, but what about Mike Gesicki? How do you defend that?
Listen, Mike Gesicki, I don't care about tight ends, man. I don't like to really go deep into tight ends. You got Travis Kelce in the second round, dude, which you've done the last 3 years.
That's not why I didn't do well. Last few years, I've had injuries every single year. It's like my top picks. So Kelce has never let me down. I won a championship with him in my dynasty league. I have the highest scoring team in the league 2 years running with Kelce.
Let's put it this way. Gesicki right now is ranked. You said he's going to be primarily a blocker. He's projected to score 9 points this weekend. Zach Ertz, who's a decent tight end, is projected to score 11. So this is what I'm talking about with tight ends. I also got him in like the 13th round. Like I got him all the way at the end. I had Gesicki last year. I picked him up because I believe Vital dropped him, and I wrote him all the way to the end of the playoffs for the most part. So I don't really care about tight ends. Tight ends are a dime a dozen unless you can get the top 3 or 4 tight ends in the league. I had the opportunity to get Darren Waller. I believe I picked up Mike Williams instead. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't care about the tight end like that. Like, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's going to catch a lot of passes. Darrell Henderson, you were talking about how good of a secondary back he is.
Oh yeah, he's a great.
I feel strong at running back, honestly. I mean, it's not the best running back stable in fantasy football, but Eckler, Josh Jacobs, listen, it's fine. My receivers, on the other hand, are spectacular.
Your receiving core, I noticed I left them out of why your team's. Yes. Your receivers are nice, and Eckler's a stud, and you got a top
and also quarterback. Let's not forget. Here's the thing. This is what I did. So I told you guys last week that I always kind of take a gamble on some rookies.
Yep. Who is your rookie?
I did it this year with. Oh, I also have Tyler Higbee. Don't forget. I also have Tyler Higbee on.
I don't dislike. I like Higbee more than I like Gesicki, actually.
Well, so either one. I've got both of them. So whatever one. Yeah, I probably like Higbee more.
Kenneth Walker. Well. You took a flyer on Kenneth Walker. That's
exactly because here's my. I was talking to my friend yesterday, and I think my benefit. And if you're listening out there, I'm sure there's a lot of guys out here that are fantasy fans, but they're also college football fans. You'll realize that not everybody is a college football guy. So some people will bring in certain knowledge. Like I watched Kenneth Walker at one point last season be in the talks for the Heisman Trophy. So he runs that Michigan State offense. Those Big Ten running backs are very successful in the NFL usually because of the pro systems that they run, those big blockers. Now, is Seattle going to be a big running team? I don't know, but they don't have a good quarterback. No. So they're going to hand the ball off a lot. Is Rashad Penny going to be an every down guy? Probably not. Kenneth Walker plays into that. Listen, I did the exact same thing with Todd Gurley. It worked out for me. So could it become nothing? Maybe. Could it become something? Absolutely. I like Kenneth Walker. I talked about him, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I've been talking about him. I've been high on him ever since he was drafted. I was happy to see him there. I'm liking him for a potential flex spot. That is, I would say, his ceiling for this year. So
yeah, for this year probably, but long term, he's a very dynasty leagues. He was going high.
Oh yeah.
So he's definitely got value down this. Yeah. Okay. All right.
And I see that we're recording this, so maybe in week 8 or week 9, we'll come back to my weak running back stable.
Oh, we're gonna talk about your weak running backs all season long, I think. All right.
Oh, and just before I leave, getting Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb on the same roster really just feels real good to be able to start both of them.
I knew you'd like that. When I saw you do that, I was like, I went and got his guy. That's cool.
I didn't have to choose this year.
I know. It was nice.
Well, they're not in the same team anymore. It's not like a handcuff anymore.
All right. So do you want to do Vital now?
And then the last thing is that I'm sorry about Deshaun Watson. I just had to do it.
I thought about taking
mostly it's for team names. I haven't thought of the team names. I was thinking about the rub and tugs or something along those lines, but I'm still in the brainstorming phase.
The rub and gun offense.
All right, let's see.
Okay,
the rub and gun offense. That's pretty good. All right. Let's see, Vital. Let's scroll on.
My team's perfect, so there's really nothing to say about.
My team's perfect, he says.
All right. I see first thing why your team sucks because you took my style of drafting and you picked Josh Allen in the second round.
Oh my God.
His style. Pat Mahomes, but I got Pat Mahomes. All right. We're locked and loaded. I actually like that pick a lot. Josh Allen, you got him, I think, at the right spot. Jonathan Taylor. Wow, that's funny. That looks a lot like my team from last year. Okay. That's why your team sucks because you basically just draft how I draft.
Look at this guy.
Come on, you can do better.
Adam Thielen, you got the other white good receiver in the NFL, but he's not Cooper Kupp, so that's why your team sucks. Kareem Hunt. What did he do? Did he beat his wife or his kids? It doesn't matter, I'm sure. JD McKissick. Oh, also on my team last year. And then I just don't know who any of these people are. Oh, you got Sky Moore. That's nice.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure he's got great tattoos. You guys can talk about that.
The team is
Bills
perfect.
Defense, that's pretty good. But
I drafted so good this year, dude. For my position, look at that
draft
team.
pretty well. I don't like Drake London.
I don't like
as your wide receiver too. He could end up being nothing, but your receiving core is pretty weak, to be honest.
There you go. That's
Chase Claypool. I'm a little disappointed in him. You'd think he would have risen to the top once Juju left. He didn't. Deontay Johnson, I think, is their guy. Yeah. Also, that new rookie,
Pickens.
I always get it because he got Pickett and Pickens. He's a fucking monster. I don't know if you've seen some of the film on him.
Yeah,
he is a fucking beast.
He could be number one.
Oh yeah, he could easily be their number one. He is a monster.
Yeah,
just manhandling guys in the preseason. So
Claypool's deep in my bench, just so we're clear. Like he is
Chase Claypool. He's one of those guys that I picked him up, I think off the waiver wire 2 years ago, and then he had a 3 touchdown game, a 4 touchdown game, and then he kind of disappeared ever since then. But he reminds me of a Martavis Bryant kind of guy.
Yeah, maybe
flash in the pan, but we'll see. Maybe this is his year.
What do you think? Okay, Vital, you gonna respond? That wasn't a very
respond. Good was there? All he did was give me compliments. Honestly, I feel.
I'll do, dude. Your receivers are not great. I'll be honest. Jerry Jeudy is your number one. That's pretty weak. And again, same thing, same criticism I have line. The Bills, week 1, Rams. That's not great either. So
listen, this is I'm glad we don't give trophies in week 1. All right. So we have a whole season to play. And the Bills are gonna eat up. What do you think? What happens when they play the Jets? What is my score gonna be? If they get to do that twice a season, I'm gonna be so happy those games.
Yeah, you gotta think about your division games, right?
Huh?
Yeah. You got to think about your divisional games. You play the Jets twice, the Dolphins twice, and the Patriots twice. Those are not going to be maybe the Dolphins, but they're not going to be high scoring.
Yeah.
Those games are not going to go that high. Yeah. So you got to figure his defense is going to get some points.
They're going to be pretty good
for 6 games for sure.
And so will Dallas. That's what I'm saying. Dallas is going to do decent.
Yeah. You guys are both. I mean, those defenses. I'm not knocking them as a whole, but your week 1 matchups suck.
But beyond that, and we're going to my receiving core. I will say this about receivers. What's the real difference between the best receiver and we're comparing right now. My week 1 matchup is Kupp versus Jerry Jeudy. You know what their point differential is? 7 points. You know what I'm saying? What do we? Yeah, it could be a lot, but that's not gonna break my fucking team.
Yeah,
7 points.
If your team has a weak spot, it is receiver. You know that.
I agree, but I'm taking some gambles. I took a lot of chances on rookies this year. I'm hoping one of them pop. A lot of my rookie receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So
and maybe one of those guys will pop. That's definitely possible.
Moore, definitely. If he gets in the rhythm, I think his midseason game. Come on.
Nobody knows. That's the thing with the Chiefs offense. We don't know which receiver is going to be the guy, and they all could be the guy taking turns. It's just it's going to be very interesting to watch that Chiefs offense. I took the one guy who I feel confident in the Chiefs besides Mahomes, obviously. Kelsey, dude. I think he's going to be the one steady, constant. Boom, he's just going to give me points every week. But go ahead and roast my team.
Let me tell you why your team sucks.
Tell me why
you chose Travis Kelsey because you're a Patriots fan and you can't see past the Gronk wannabe he is. He will never be Gronk. Let it go. Second off, your logo is a Patriots knockoff Tampa Bay thing, and you have 2 different Dolphins players on them. Drop Waddle immediately. You don't deserve any points he gives you, especially against New England. Don't you feel bad? Don't you feel bad doing that? That's crazy. Dalvin Cook is getting hurt this year. This is Christian McCaffrey. Dude, they've been working him for almost 3 seasons straight. He's done. It's over. Hurts, I like him, but he's not going to do it for you. I don't know how he's projected more than Russell Wilson this week. That's not going to happen. Your best receiver is your tight end. I think you're talking about me. Your best receiver is your tight end. Absolutely. Who is this? AJ Brown washed. This is gonna be like anyone who goes to the Eagles is washed. Honestly, I feel bad for that entire city. It's not. You're not with that. Did you see them? Oh, they look bad against the Dolphins. They didn't play any starters, but still terrible.
No starters. None of the guys on my team played. And on either side of that, actually, I'm heavy Dolphins Eagles, that's probably why you should say my team sucks. But what else you got? What else? My team's pretty good, man. I think I like my team a lot.
And you're great.
Wait,
You know what's interesting is that we have 12 guys this year instead of 14. So I was like, oh my God, these people are still available.
Yeah.
Like that draft, it was still like, it was pretty sweet.
It got hard at the end because you're like, ooh, I kind of want that guy. Ooh, I kind of want that guy. Like the later in the draft, the later picks, you're like, God, I kind of want both of those guys, and I have to pick between one or the other. I'll respond. Dalvin Cook. I'll tell you why I like my team. Dalvin Cook, I was surprised he was even there to begin with, man. Like the 9th pick, I got Dalvin Cook. I didn't expect him to be there. I love Travis Kelce in the 2nd round. That's tremendous value for a team that is, I think, going to lean on him. I did go heavy Eagles, but they all fell. I didn't reach for any of those guys. I took a shot. I know Hurts is a little bit of a gamble, but he could be a league-winning gamble. If he pops this year and he's a running quarterback and he's got good receivers who I also have. So it's like, if he's rushing for touchdowns, great. If he's throwing for touchdowns,
I'll say this.
great.
I won my season in my other league with Hurts as my QB. He's consistent. He won't get you under 12. I'll say that. He's really good.
He's good, man.
I don't think there's ever a game.
I got him in the 6th round, and I feel really good about that. I think he could be really good value. I got a bunch of other guys that are kind of like might start the season slow because they're coming back from injury, like Elijah Mitchell, but they say he's a clear number 1 running back for the Niners. Ramondre Stevenson, again, he's a guy who could blow up. Kadarius Toney starting slow, maybe not even in week 1, but he's on my bench, man, and he could blow up. I love these young guys. I got Michael Gallup in the 10th, and I immediately moved him to injured reserve and picked up my backup quarterback in case something happens to Hurts, or he's also got an early bye week. So I feel,
but also Trevor Lawrence could blow up this year too. And
exactly.
Then
Right. And I love sitting on Trevor Lawrence because he's got a great matchup. I looked at it. He's got a really good matchup. He's playing the Giants the week that Jalen Hurts is on a bye. The real reason my team sucks though is because my week 7 bye is brutal. I have like 6 guys who are on a bye week 7. But I kind of like that because that means I'm going to be at full strength for a lot of the rest of the matchups. I'm not going to be,
one crippling week.
Yeah. And I got Steve that week, and Steve's team looks kind of soft this year. So I could sneak by with a victory, especially if a couple of my bench guys are picking it up by then. So, week 7 is going to be I might even not play a kicker depending on what's happening with my team at that point. I don't know. Cause I may not want to drop anybody, but week 7, I might drop Rondale Moore because that's the week that Hopkins comes back. So
we should have a rule that you have to field the whole entire team.
Why, dude?
What do you mean why? That's all bullshit because you're hogging a player when you should have drafted one. Yeah, dude.
I'm basically saying I'm okay with I could take everybody with a week 7 bye, like my whole team, and then just take that week off, but be at full strength the rest of the season. I'm
bringing this to a vote.
All right. I mean, whatever. It's not a rule now, so it's going to have to go in next year. But we'll take it into I'll take it under consideration. Honestly,
will revolt, Nick.
I think all of our teams are pretty good. I think I have the most balanced team, but you guys are definitely top heavy at quarterback. I feel like I have an advantage, obviously, over most teams at tight end, if not all teams at tight end. But I feel like we all did pretty well in the draft. It's going to be an interesting year. I like I did look at my defense though. I like the Niners defense overall, but I also really like their week 1 and week 2 matchups. So I got them later, I think, than you guys took defenses, and I got Chicago week 1.
Tal took a defense in like the 7th round. What was that?
Did you? Well, it's the Bills. I mean,
Me?
Yeah, you took a defense real early.
You did
Yeah,
go
but
all
I think I would. That was coming up on my turn, and then I wasn't gonna get a pick for like 20 turns, and I figured by the
Dude,
time.
also, I don't know about you guys, but like for whatever reason, it didn't upload once, and it made me auto draft once or twice. Like I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember
you
who
should have
it
texted me.
auto-drafted.
I can pause it anytime. I told like I'm never gonna let that happen on purpose.
I'm trying to remember who it picked, but maybe Jacoby Myers or somebody like that. But
I actually liked your Jacoby Myers pick.
Yeah, it's not bad.
no, I got Jacoby Myers. There was somebody that I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, Higbee. It was Higbee.
Oh, it saved you.
Yeah, that's the reason you're. It was the auto draft news like this guy needs help at tight end really badly. Like we're just gonna throw him the best tight end possible, the one he should have drafted instead of Gesicki. Yeah, no, I like our drafts though. I think it was a good time.
I mean, I was gonna get Dawson Knox because I wanted to play through the pain, but he wasn't available. So
yeah, with the tight ends went pretty quick. I was dude, what's his name? Pitts. Lando took Pitts in the
First
second round.
Second round, yeah.
On the it was
Yeah,
right
that's
by the turn.
wild.
Second round, Pitts. Yeah.
Wild pick.
I agree. I thought that was so this is a little preview of your team, why your team sucks. We're gonna be coming out with this starting Monday the 11th with our first Monday night broadcast. Lonnie's gonna be telling everybody why their team sucks. We'll chime in also, but you get to pick the team and lay it out for us, Lonnie. Let's do a quick news thing. Brian Robinson, running back for the Commanders, got shot during our draft. He had already been drafted and he got shot twice. Luckily not shot in the ACL. So probably, Lonnie, what happened to you? Where'd you go?
Video cut out.
Yeah. So good news for Brian Robinson, not shot in the ACL, just shot in the ass and the thigh or something like that.
That's all. If it's all meaty stuff, it should be fine.
He probably will play this year, I think.
Yeah.
Like they said, everything's positive coming out of surgery. Obviously, I hope he's, that sucks. We hope he's doing well. Fucking blows. He got shot. He was also looking like kind of a dark horse pick to maybe take over the Washington backfield. Antonio Gibson had been kind of questionable. JD McKissick's probably locked in at that receiving role, that third down back role. He's very prolific at that. But
he was a great pickup for me last year.
Yeah, but Brian Robinson, they were looking at, he looked really good in the preseason, and they were thinking he might take over that backfield. And now, obviously, that's not going to happen anytime soon because he's recovering from gunshot.
I disagree. I think he's going to come back stronger, like 50 Cent.
Yeah, dude. He's going to wear a bulletproof vest under his pads.
Yep.
Shit. He got shot. Well, he shot in the ass, though, so I don't know if that's going to help him at all. Bengals. So this was a fun little story. Bengals Rams joint practice, like multiple fights, multiple days. It was like there's one picture. I think it was Aaron Donald holding two Bengals helmets.
Yep.
That should be our background for today. And like because it's practice, there's no league disciplinary action, and the teams are just like, whatever. How do you feel about the Super Bowl matchup teams playing a preseason game and having preseason joint practices? That was a little bit of a surprise to me. I was like, of course there's fucking fights breaking out. They're still pissed off. They're talking shit about the Super Bowl, seems like a pretty, I don't know, not a great idea, maybe.
I mean, I like it for what it is, but yeah, you're definitely going to have fights, but I love it. They should do this every year. They should do this in general. Like teams you played last week and beat you like in overtime, you should be able to play Wednesday practice against them again.
How do you feel about it, Lonnie? You like the joint practice of the Super Bowl teams?
I mean, I like joint practices, man. I think they're a good idea, like because of the preseason getting shortened.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the joint practices are good. Yep. Did you guys watch Hard Knocks this year?
No.
So Dan Campbell, he talked about something. I love Dan Campbell. He's like a real hard-nosed guy.
Yeah.
But one thing he was talking about is he's like, listen, man, like I know you guys like you don't really like it, but we got to practice in pads. Like we got to get used to this intensity because your bodies need to get used to full contact. It helps you from injuries.
Mm.
So I like it. I like these guys getting ready. Like you're seeing now, like not a lot of guys have got really hurt this preseason. Like you didn't see any real big names. There were a couple. The center from I believe from the Buccaneers got hurt, but that was in camp. And then you always have those, right? The ACLs and MCLs are going to happen in training camp. Another guy tore his Achilles, I think. So those injuries are going to happen, but not a ton this year.
No.
So
last year it was, remember the whole Ravens running back committee.
Ravens, Travis Etienne.
Decimated.
Like there were a bunch of guys that just missed the season, and that happens in the preseason. But no, I like the joint practices. I like the Super Bowl matchup. You know, you can tell that the NFL is putting a lot of money behind the Rams this year, so I like it.
I kind of like it. It was fun too, but I mean, I feel like they might not do it next year just because so many fights. Like they called practice early a bunch, and it's like, so that just means they're not. I like the idea of the joint practices for sure, but like the Super Bowl matchup, like
you think the NFL cares way too much, dude?
Maybe not.
Anything that's not bad press for them directly, I don't think they give a shit. You know?
Yeah, no, but I mean,
here's the thing, man. They like that.
Yeah,
you know, this is the NFL. This isn't like
ramped up.
Basketball. They want intensity, like because you got to understand, like this is the same people that like UFC are the same people that like football. They like and they want to see Aaron Donald swinging 2 helmets, which in any other context would be assault with a deadly weapon. Like they want that. They want to feed into that intensity.
Sure.
And I'm sure the Rams loved it. I'm sure that picture is going up in every team practice, every locker room. They're talking about it, man. These guys are violent.
Yeah.
I
like the idea of you know, sort of a rivalry that never existed before either. Like that's the other thing. It's fun. Like Rams Bengals, who gave a shit before last Super Bowl? Now it's like, ooh, Rams Bengals. Ooh, like that's like we could talk about that as a potential rivalry.
Do they have a game scheduled this year? Those two, do you know?
I don't know if they have a game scheduled this year. I haven't looked that far into the schedule. It's definitely not. They're not doing week 1. I know that for sure. But what do you guys think the odds are? What do you give the chances of a repeat Super Bowl? Rams Bengals. How you feel? You know, what do you think the chances are?
Very hard to repeat in the NFL. Very hard.
Yeah. Well, for either team. So, but would you like it though?
The Bengals have stayed pretty consistent though. Their team didn't change very much.
But it should have.
Both teams look tough again. I mean, I'll say this. I think it could happen. It wouldn't be a shock. It wouldn't be like a huge spoiler surprise. Both teams are still
I would be for both teams. One of them maybe. Both teams would be shocking.
How about shocking? I don't think.
How often does that happen? Has that ever happened in the NFL? Like repeat?
Yeah, of course it's happened.
I believe that the Bills and Cowboys played
Cowboys twice.
Yep.
Okay.
Patriots have played the Eagles twice. It's not. They didn't play
back to back. The Patriots played the Eagles once.
No, they've played the Eagles twice. They won once. They lost one.
Oh, but no, I think you're talking about back to back.
No, not back to back. Not back to back. But I'm
saying
there have been.
I'm pretty sure played 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Against each other.
There have been Super Bowl rematches. Is what I'm saying. The of old, the Bengals and the Niners played twice within a few years.
I don't count when there were 12 teams, man. It doesn't count when there were 12 teams. Like.
This is before, a little bit before. This is back when there were 6 preseason games. Remember that, Lonnie? That was.
I think there were 12.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think it would be shocking. I don't expect it to happen, but I think they're both still going to be very good teams. I think they're both going to be in the playoffs, and that's all you need for that to happen. It should, you know, a couple things fall the right way. They're both going to be very tough outs in the playoffs this year if they maintain and they stay healthy. They're both very difficult. I think the Bengals are going to be better this year. Honestly, I don't know that means they're going to make it to the Super Bowl, but I think overall they're going to be a better football team. And I kind of expect the Rams to be better as well. Second year with Stafford, you know, quality wide receivers. They added some guys. They even added some defensive players too. So
I actually think the Bengals are going to fall off this year. I don't know if they did enough to bolster their line, and I think people now see that you can pressure Joe Burrows. Like even get to him because that was
pressure isn't the problem. What the problem is the defense. It's that defense that nobody ever talked about. That defense that figured out how to beat Tyreek Hill. Like that's the issue. It's like, yeah, we're gonna like Joe Burrow, of course, like Joe Mixon, like his receivers. But the thing is they have the best receiving core in the NFL, arguably. They have an elite running back. They have an elite quarterback. It's like
and
an elite defense, like
they
offensive line aside, like that's a tough team to beat.
They did address the offensive line a little bit. They added some pieces in the offensive line. So they addressed their biggest glaring weakness.
And I think they kept most of the team together, if I'm not mistaken. So
they did. And they're young. They're also young. They're just getting better. So I think they might be better. I don't know if the record will reflect that. I don't think they're going to go as deep into the playoffs because that would mean a Super Bowl run. But as a team, I think they're going to be a better team. They're going to be a tougher team to beat. I think they're going to be right there. I think they'll be playing, certainly playing in the divisional round. I expect to see them there. And anything.
Bonnie, do you think they beat the Cowboys week 2?
Yes.
Interesting.
I think absolutely.
Yeah. Is it in
Cowboys have always had a tough time beating tough football teams? Like, and when I say tough, I don't mean like good. I mean tough. Like when they're like running teams that have a strong defense and a great front seven, the Cowboys historically have always had a tough time because the Cowboys are kind of like the Chiefs. Like they're flashy. They've put the ball in the air. They're not going to like beat you up like that. So they often run into trouble with the old Eagles, the Steelers, like those teams give them trouble. So no, I do not expect the Cowboys to win that game.
I don't think the Cowboys are going to be what they're going to be until Michael Gallup is healthy.
I think the Cowboys are looking at a 9-8 year potentially. Like I don't think we're looking at a great Cowboys year this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think they might do better than that just because I think they should sweep the Giants and the Commanders, but that's never a given either. That division always plays each other tough. So
correct.
Let's get into a little bit more fantasy talk. Drafts are still going on. We drafted very early, which I liked. It was good, I thought. Mostly because we didn't have to conflict with too many other draft schedules as well. But as far as the drafts go, you guys have more leagues that you're in? Are you drafting again anytime soon? No? Vital, what about you? You're in a couple leagues, right?
Yeah, I did my draft that same day, actually, before.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Nice. So here's something that we talked a little bit last week about running back tandems and handcuffs. And in our league, I almost got Madison. Terzo snaked him from me on purpose, but Terzo's running backs are trash anyway. So, but of the 4 elite handcuffs, one of them did actually get drafted. Casey Peruski drafted Jamal Williams to handcuff DeAndre Swift, which is, I think, huge. And also he's a Lions fan. So it's like he got his little homer draft in there and a couple of his guys, but in places that like Swift fell later than he was projected. So that's a nice pickup. And he got Williams late. So that was good. We actually have
3 different Detroit players. 4. He has 4 different Detroit players. He's put a Rob Callard.
He's kind of is, except I took Rob's Eagles this year because they kept falling because Rob wasn't in our league. So they kept falling lower. So anyway, we'll get back to that. We actually have a write-in from Kevin D. Let's see who we got. Kevin D. Here's my keeper league team. Could you give your thoughts on my 2 keepers? He said my 2 keepers were Jamar Chase, 7th round. Oh, dude, that's a home run. And Jonathan Taylor, 5th round. Jesus, it sounds like you're going to win your league, dude.
What he wants us to, yes, you're very good. We'll give you
we get it.
Yeah.
The rest of your team is Kyler Murray, DeAndre Swift, Etienne, AJ Dillon, and Hines. Okay, so you're in like a 4-team league. Nicely done. CeeDee Lamb, Mike Williams, Brandon Ayuk, blah, 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 blah. Tyler Boyd, Cole Kmet, Noah Fant, Albert. Okay, that's kind of too many tight ends, maybe, but 3 tight ends is a lot. Ryan Suckup, Rams defense. Sound like you got a stellar team, Kevin D. I like it.
Drop one of those tight ends or trade them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know if you need all those tight ends.
You definitely don't need Fant.
Fant
we can get more value for
12-team PPR. He says, laugh my ass up. Yeah, you're gonna fucking dominate. $500 buy-in.
Oh,
that's a slice, man. When you win the championship, send a little donation our way. We are listener supported. Thank you, Kevin D, for watching and listening. We appreciate you.
Thanks.
And anytime throughout the year with any questions or comments. So we were just talking about, and I don't think he has any, but we were talking about running back tandems this week. And one thing I was looking at, especially because I drafted a wide receiver tandem. How you guys feel about the wide receiver tandems? And I was looking at the 1-2 combos if they're available. And when I say 1-2, I mean like your wide receiver 1 and your wide receiver 2, same team. Here's a couple of the guys that are options. Chase and Higgins. You'd probably have to go first and third round. That's one option. I actually I think I took second in a league last year where I had Chase and Higgins. Hill and Waddle. I was actually potentially looking at that. Hill got picked up before it got to me on the second round, but I like Hill and Waddle as a tandem 1-2 combo. Kupp and Robinson, potentially wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams is an option. Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, maybe if you're not, if it's a deeper league. Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy would have been a pretty nice combo. And Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, health being an issue there. And then maybe later in the season, if you grab Gallup like I did late, Gallup and Lamb, potentially, if their offense gets clicking, could be a pretty nice combo as well. How do you feel about those, especially those top tier Chase Higgins, Hill, Waddle? If those combos are sitting there in a position where you're not reaching for the guys, now obviously you're talking first 4 rounds. Do you like those combos in those offenses for this year? Or would you rather diversify? The benefit obviously is specifically with Chase and Higgins last year, and I think it's going to be like that with Hill and Waddle this year, is if one goes off and the other one doesn't, you're getting the total points. So let's say you're getting 50 points total every week from those 2 guys.
The problem you run into, I think the problem you run into is who's to say that the other guy is going to get those points? You know what I mean? Like you're going to run into what was the guy's name? The white boy from Tampa Bay, Scott Miller.
Miller.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scotty Miller. Like you're going to run into some teams where that third guy is going to be the stud, right? Like the Wes Welkers, the Scotty Millers, the Hunter Renfros, like those guys. And then not to mention the tight ends. Like some teams, like just because you have 2 great receivers, sometimes that means that the third guy has to step up. You know what I mean?
That's true. And that's why I don't actually love all of those combos, but those first 2, because they don't have Tyler Boyd is very good, but the offense is going to focus on Higgins and Chase. And last year they did go back and forth, like 30 points one week, one guy, the other guy had 10. It was like guaranteed 40 or 50 points a week when I had Higgins and Chase in that one league. I think Hill and Waddle are going to be similar. I think they're going to be the focal points of that offense outside of the running game. So yes, to your point, of course, especially with a quarterback like Brady, he's going to spread it around, like that's one of the things. But I think in these 2 cases, in these 2 instances, I really like, if they fall, I like having both those guys as my wide receiver 1 and 2. What do you think, Fatal?
I mean, if they fall, I wouldn't try to plan on it, of course, because I would always rather diversify, because it is like Lonnie's saying, those points aren't guaranteed to fall to the other guy. It's not like a zero-sum thing with that. You can go to a lot of different players on the team. Because one guy could just eat and then you lose by 2 points when you could have just had another guy on a team who could have been like mid-tier for you. Right. But it's not bad if it falls. But I don't know. Yeah, I would rather diversify.
You'd rather diversify? Yeah. Okay. Kev D writes in, he says, give you a sub, thanks. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Give us a follow.
He's a sub. Yeah, he's subscribed. That's what he did.
Oh, subscribe. Yeah, great. Thank you. That's what I was going to say. Subscribe.
So old, Nick, bro.
And also, feel free to tell your friends about us who are in other leagues. Nobody likes to share with their friends when we give them good advice. So like, those guys are giving us good advice. I'm not telling anybody. And we have historically given very good advice over the years. We had like the same 5 guys right in every week. Like, tell me what to do for this one.
That's why, bro. This is.
I know. We actually give 2 good advice.
Terrible marketing strategy.
It's not being good at fantasy podcasting and advice is bad marketing. He does have Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. That's a combo I like in a high-powered offense. Who's their number 3 receiver? I do know because I have him in Dynasty. It's like Josh Palmer. But again, I think those guys are going to be a huge focal part of a high volume passing offense. I like Williams and Keenan Allen as 1-2 punch. Kev D asked last question. Thoughts on CeeDee Lamb this year, the Cowboys fantasy upside. Lonnie, take it away. You drafted him.
CeeDee Lamb, listen, man, upside is top 5 receiver in the NFL, right? That's why they got him.
Yep.
You're looking at one of the premier receiving talents coming out of college football in the last couple of years. I mean, he's a great talent. Now, here's the thing. Do I get to see training camp every single day? No. Have I heard things from training camp? Yes. Have I heard he's having a great camp? I have. But at the same time, like, I don't know. We've been waiting for him, right? We've been waiting for this big season from him. This is his now 3rd year. His rookie year wasn't bad, if I remember correctly. He was
pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
His rookie year last year was very disappointing, honestly. I remember taking him high.
Yeah.
The
whole offense was kind of disappointing last year after that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that was Dak Prescott calf injury that they said, they downplayed, and then the season ended. They're like, oh, his calf. It's like, we knew that. Dak supposedly looks great. Ezekiel, Tony Pollard, the offensive line is decent. So we'll see, I think this year leans into the year being CeeDee Lamb's breakout season. So if you've got him, I think like I did, I leaned into him. Mostly also it gives me CD's nuts team name options.
Team name options.
But at the same time, you could look at another kind of mediocre, disappointing season.
Yeah.
But especially again, upside top 5 receiver in the NFL. Yeah.
Based on his ADP, I could see a slide and maybe a disappointment because he is drafting in the 2nd round for the most part.
But then that's it, though. If he disappoints again, you might see him kind of creep back into the, I mean, look at a guy, dude. Did you see where Kenny Galladay got drafted in our league? I mean, did he even get picked up?
He got picked up by Steve. I think Steve I was at Steve's house. Steve drafted him accidentally. He was like, fuck, I got to draft. God damn it. Yeah. Galladay, though, they're saying, I mean, some of the things I've heard, Galladay's been very disappointing in camp. So
yes, did you see that?
Yeah,
did you see him running that drill?
Yeah, it doesn't look good for him. And also it speaks very highly of Matt Stafford, like making him a Pro Bowler. It's like, how much of that was just Stafford balling, and putting him in the perfect spot. So
I think maybe Galladay's just washed though.
Yeah.
No, but a lot of that is that too. Like a lot of that is quarterback, like, a lot of it is some guys are made to look like all-stars because of their quarterback. Right. Tom Brady made a career out of that. So
made other guys' careers out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. My favorite Cowboy that I was targeting, I didn't get him in this draft, but one of my favorite Cowboys this year is Tony Pollard. Yeah. I love Pollard's upside, and especially in our league, I was hoping to get him because he is their number 1 right now on their depth chart, number 1 kick and punt returner, which we actually score some points, not a lot, but some points for kick return yards and punt return yards in our league. So I did kind of look at that a little bit, not a lot, because those guys, if they have a big return, they're also coming off the field for a few plays. And that's one of the reasons I like having it as a point, a scoring system. Like if Pollard gets 75 yards and then they pull him off the field and Zeke punches it in for the touchdown, Pollard should still get a couple points, for those yardage that he contributed. So, but I just think Pollard's in line, especially early on. If Gallup's out, they're talking about using him as a slot receiver. He's going to get, if you score kick and punt return yards, he's even more valuable in that regard. I just think he's the guy based on his ADP. He's maybe the most valuable on the Cowboys. Kev D says his team name is Deshaun Watson's Lawyers. Nice. That's good. I like it. And he already had Jamar Chase. So he's like, why not take CD? Good call. I want to talk about, so the one more thing I want to bring up is because Vital enjoyed it so much. I decided to make a list of top 5 murky backfields just so you could say murky backfields. When I was looking at this, top 5 murky backfields this year in draft. Number 1, I had the Chiefs. I don't. This is like most of Lonnie's running backs come from these backfields. The Chiefs are pretty murky. I think they have some rookie. They've got Edwards-Helaire, and they've got they also have Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones could be very usable. I also have the Raiders. Number 2, the Raiders backfield, I think is pretty murky. Zamir White, you got who else? What did it say? Brandon Bolden's going to get passing downs. Josh Jacobs is due for regression. I actually have the Bills as a pretty murky backfield. I don't. Did you guys?
Sure, of course.
Devin Singletary. You've got the rookie James Cook, and who's the other guy from last year who played pretty well? He's a rookie last year. He's still in the mix.
Isaiah Powell.
No, you're thinking of their slot receiver, McKenzie. Isaiah McKenzie's a slot receiver. No, and then they have some other, but Zach Moss. Zach Moss is still there. All 3 of those guys probably going to see some work. So yeah, I don't like that backfield. The Eagles have a pretty murky backfield. I don't know if Miles Sanders is even healthy starting the season. Kenneth Gainwell is probably going to get some work. They got Boston Scott. That just sounds like a mess. And the number, actually, I think this is one of my favorite. Well, actually, this has gotten cleared up a little bit as of today. The Dolphins I had as one of the murkier backfields, but I think Chase Edmonds is, and I drafted him in like the 6th or something, 5th round. I think I got Chase Edmonds. He's looking like the starter. They cut Sony Michel. He's not in the mix.
What?
Yes, they cut Sony Michel. I saw it today. They released Sony Michel.
Wow.
Yeah, he's only guaranteed like $850,000, which is nothing, obviously. So, but cut Sony Michel. So that really cleared up the Dolphins backfield. I think it's going to be Chase primarily, and then Mostert some of the time. I had them as a potential like Niners backfield for this year.
Sure.
Because you got Mike McDaniel and you had a bunch of guys, and I thought it was going to be kind of pick one and see who pops this week, sort of situation. But I think it's cleared up a little bit.
What makes you think Edmonds going to be the number 1? Is this the same news source that's telling you that the Michael Thompson is going to play soon?
Yeah, the NFL. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know, but
what? Why do you not think it's going to be Edmonds?
I just doubt it. I don't know. I doubt that the Dolphins aren't going to pick up another running back. I think
they have a bunch. They still have Salvin Ahmed. They still have. They're crowded. They've got.
No, I know. I think they're looking for a running back.
Really? They paid Chase Edmonds a lot of money. That's why I think he's going to be the starter. And I think he's a pretty complete back. He catches, he runs, he's pass protecting, and he's more durable overall than Mostert. Mostert, I think, is going to be a return specialist and a change of pace, and a good one at that. So I kind of
if you've got Raheem Mostert, what people don't realize about him is he's one of the fastest players in the NFL.
Yes, but they are going to. He's I think the top punt return depth chart guy for them. So that's where they're going to try to use him, I think, a lot and get the value out of him. But I don't think he's going to be every down back because he's proven that he just can't hold up in that role. So,
I think all those speedsters and McDaniels is going to run a lot of play with Mustard. Like, I think that's exactly.
We'll see. I mean, it's not like I used like a high draft pick on.
Did Mostert get picked up?
Yeah, somebody did. I was looking for him late, and he got picked up like the round. I think Max picked him up, so he got picked up right before I was looking at him, like a couple picks before I was going to try to snag him. But I'm sorry, I got Khalil Herbert, who could also be very valuable. He's also going to be like a return guy for the Bears. So, So I messed up one of the things that I was talking about not messing up last week, and that was having a bunch of people on the same bye week. My kicker, I think, my quarterback, and then a bunch of receivers, and one of my running, and Dalvin Cook all have the same bye week. So, but at that point, I was just like, once I realized what I was doing, I was like, fuck it. But the kicker I could have avoided. I got the Bills kicker, who I like, but I was like, that's stupid. I could have taken another kicker. I actually flip-flopped. I thought I was taking the guy without the week 7 bye, and so that kind of fucked me over. I don't know. We'll see how it works out week 7. But what else do we have? All right. So team names. I think I settled on one last night. I don't know if you guys saw it. The Dalvin Insurrectionists. I'm taking Vital's advice as always. Naming the team after my guy because that's good. Like I need Dalvin Cook this year. I need him to stay healthy. I need my stud running back if I'm going to make a run. I've had bad luck with injuries, so I named the team after him. Dalvin Insurrectionists.
I mean, I've got a lot of potential here. I've got Pat Mahomes. I've got CeeDee Lamb. I've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Amari Cooper hanging with Mr. Cooper, like Deshaun Watson. Jacoby Myers, Tyler Higbee. There's so much naming potential in this roster.
Yeah, but you got to go with your best player, or at least one of your best players, according to Vital, which I am on board about Vital.
Or no, he's got some pretty notorious players too.
He does. That's true too. Yeah, if you're not going Watson,
sometimes notoriety beats out.
Which player are you looking at, Vital, on your team as your team naming?
This is hard, man. I don't probably Jonathan Taylor, depending on how he plays. If he starts off good.
Listen, you guys didn't. I had the greatest Jonathan Taylor team name last year, and you guys didn't even. Nobody even got it. Okay.
That can't be the best team name if nobody gets it. That's
Tim Allen's mustache and the picture of Tim Allen getting arrested for smuggling cocaine. Because of Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Jonathan Taylor, that was his son. It wasn't even Tim Allen.
It's a deep cut. It's a
deep cut. All right. We're 90s boys. All right.
It's too obscure. I love it, but it's too obscure.
I get it, but you were
for the smart, intellectual comic fan. What'd you say, Vital?
I said it felt like you were reaching a little bit.
It wasn't a reach. Okay. Sorry that my big brain intimidates the rest of all the people in the league. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. You shaved your head. I think the solar rays is getting to you a little bit.
That's probably true.
So Vital, you got to go Jonathan Taylor though, don't you? I mean, I guess who else? Josh Allen actually might be your best actual player. So I feel like you could go Josh Allen or Jonathan Taylor. With
Claypool has a fun name. Deadpool, maybe. That's something going on there.
Deadpool? What?
I said Claypool is a fun name.
Oh, Claypool is a fun name. It is a fun name. But you're the one who told me you got to name him after your best player. And I have stuck to that.
Hey, Claypool should be my best player. You don't know. You don't believe in the Steelers?
It's not that. No. Well, yes, I definitely don't believe in the Steelers. But Josh Allen I think he's just going to light it up this year. I love Josh Allen this year. I think he's, as much as Jonathan Taylor, I fully support you picking him number one overall. I would have done the same thing. I don't know. Actually, I might have gone McCaffrey. I like taking risks. And I think McCaffrey's due for a bounce back. But Josh Allen, I think, is going to be balling this year. I think he might be my MVP pick this year. I don't know. What do you think, Lonnie? Who do you think your best player is going to be, Lonnie? Not that you actually subscribe to that, but Mahomes, Eckler. Eckler could be a fun name to play with. I like Eckler. Mahomes was not great in fantasy last year. He made a lot of mistakes, and he lost Tyreek Hill. I think Austin and Eckler are both fun names to play with. That would probably be I would look at that because there's so many Mahomes team names now that have been used, but there haven't been a lot of Eckler team names. I feel like you could really go out on a limb with that one and have some fun with it. For everybody who's watching and wondering what we're talking about team name wise, if you haven't followed the podcast for the last couple of years, we've been debating team names, and we, myself and Vital, I subscribe to Vital's philosophy of name your team after your best player, and it's got to be a pun that is fun and or interesting. So I'm going the Dalvin Insurrectionists for Dalvin Cook, who I did not expect to get. I wasn't that surprised, but I was a little surprised. I was surprised I had to choose between him and Jefferson. I was like, fuck.
If your player's hurt, can you still have the name? Because I'm pretty sure you have to change your name week 6.
See, that's the thing. Because I named my team after him, he's not going to get hurt this year. This is going to be his year.
Why would you say that out loud? You just
because I believe in your system, Vital. That's why I believe in your system.
Just say wild shit and hope it happens.
No, I think his workload is going to be a little bit lesser this year because I think they're going to lean on Madison a little bit. So he probably won't have but I think he's going to be consistent. He's going to be there for me. What else we got? Last place penalty. We're rolling ours over from last year. But in one of my other leagues, our last place penalty we're talking about doing is a license plate cover or border, and it's going to be like sent around to everybody each year, so it's going to be shipped. So this will be the first year, and it's gonna, I don't know what it's going to say, like I'm a pretty princess or something like that. I don't, it's going to be something fun, but that's probably what we're going to go with, and then it's going to be shipped each year, so it's going to be passed around like the Sacco. Ours is obviously a last place performance. Somebody, I had a good idea, or maybe it was with you guys, but somebody was talking about last place penalties. And I think next year, what we might end up doing is dressing up as a mermaid and having to do a whole set as a mermaid at an open mic. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I'm a merman. First off.
No.
So we get these pronouns.
No. You're going opposite pronoun from what you normally identify as. And we would get to write pronoun. We're gonna write a set as that character. So like we all get to write mermaid jokes. I think it'd be hilarious. I think it'd be great. Probably one of the best ones yet. But we're putting that off till next year. So next week, what do we have? Next week's going to be we're not going to be here next Monday. We're going to be back on Thursday night for the kickoff. So we're going to have like 10 days off, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do a kickoff special. You guys still good for the Thursday, the 8th?
I'm going to be out of town, so I'll have to let you know.
Okay, we can do it earlier. I don't know. What's your schedule, Vital, on Thursday? Same kind of thing?
Yeah.
So we can change the time, I guess, a little bit, but
yeah, you guys might have to do the kickoff without me. I might be on the road. I'll have to let you know.
Or maybe we could do a Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm going to be out of town that whole week, so
are you going to be?
I'll let you guys know. I have
inaccessible.
To tell you
okay. Well, we'll have to get back to the fans. I'll post something beforehand when our kickoff special. But before the kickoff, we gotta do a show where we actually are going to pick all of the things. So I'm going to resend that to you guys. I think I want to also add the comeback player of the year because that's one of the big awards. But we're going to pick division winners, full division standings, awards, rookies of the year, offensive, defensive, defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year, MVP. What did I just say? Comeback player of the year, all that stuff. And then championship matchups, division standings, championship matchups, Super Bowl matchup, and Super Bowl champion. And we have the point totals allotted for all that good stuff. So we're going to come back with that next week or whenever our next show is before the kickoff. And then we're going to start officially Monday, the 11th for Monday Night Football. Right. All right. Anything else you guys want to throw in news wise, otherwise? Any more advice for drafts?
Monday is the 12th, right? Monday is the 12th?
No, it's the 11th. September 11th is the kickoff.
Thursday.
No, Monday.
Thursday is the 8th.
Sunday. You're right. Monday the 12th. My bad. So Monday the 12th will be our kickoff special. We'll be hitting you with all of but before that, we're going to do, like I said, we'll do all the pre-picks and we'll do our worst quarterback picks for week 1 as well on that preseason show. Any last minute advice for people still drafting before we go? No, we covered pretty much.
Do your research. Don't draft because of your team.
Don't drink and draft. I always say it as a
draft.
Don't drink and draft. Drink after your draft.
Don't be an auto pick douchebag that makes the clock run down 3 minutes every single time you're on the clock.
Well, once they're on auto draft though, then it just picks them automatically. But
it goes fast, yeah.
I did not.
That is a nice feature of Sleeper because I've been in some drafts, dude. That's like
it's 3 minutes every time, and it's like no,
brutal.
Yeah. So Sleeper, use Sleeper. Sleeper's great. I'm sold.
Yeah, Sleeper is nice.
Sleeper's awesome. All right. For anybody watching, listening, yes, thank you, by the way, Kevin D, for writing in. Appreciate you. Everybody can watch us live when we're on. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram to see when we're going to be on. But generally, throughout the season, it's going to be Monday Night Football right before the Monday night game. Write in with questions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all that stuff. We'll post clips and whatnot And then also tell your friends about us. We're on all of the podcast sites, Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. We are listener supported, so feel free to send us a donation via one of those sites. I don't even know how that works. Send us something. Be nice. Help us cover the costs of Zoom. All right. I think that's about it. You guys got shows to promo? What do you got coming up? Comedy shows?
I had to cancel all my shows for the next couple of days.
Oh, that's right. Because you have COVID. That's right. Well, wish Lonnie well with COVID, but not with
Get better, Lonnie.
Hope you get better. I hope your team sucks.
All right.
Vital, you got anything? Anything coming up?
Nothing to promo this week. Yeah.
Cool.
All good.
All right. Yeah, me too. I got a down week as well. All right. Good to see you guys. I'll send you the pick lists so you can start working on that. And
sounds good.
Yeah, I'll see you guys in like a week and a half, a little over a week.
All righty.
Guys, we'll see you.